Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe Two and Love. So, yes, I said I would just be doing the short, but I figured with all the news that's still come the last couple days, figure I'd put into a little shorter video, but still, nonetheless, hope everyone's having fun Thursday or whenever when you get this. But thank you all. Um, yeah, we'll be making predictions for the NFC and AFC Championship, which I will put in a short. Probably the Jim Harbaugh news, but still, we'll be going over that today. Doc Rivers, Vic Fangio, a couple of things, the Baseball Hall of Fame. Here for you guys, but nonetheless, thank you guys for joining me. Subscribe. It still confused me, this whole mirror situation when I'm on camera, but nonetheless, subscribe, notification bell, become a member of the channel, subscriber, get all notifications. You guys know the drill. You guys are awesome. Yeah. So, let's get into some of the news first before we get into the picks. So, nothing bigger than what we got today. Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is officially, so it seems, jumping ship from collegiate level now back to the NFL after nearly a decade with Michigan, after leaving the 49ers after a heck of a 4-year span, is now on to back from Michigan and national championship. Now here going to the LA Chargers, back to California, and in an interesting situation with the Chargers. Justin Herbert, Rashawn Slater, got all those cats on the team. Now, they do have a unique cap situation, which, they still have to get a GM to a point and figure out that. But heck of a situation to be in for Jim Harbaugh. 2 years ago, there were talks with the Vikings last year, possibly with the Broncos, but no, he's opted both. Be in Michigan, finish that out, win national championship. That's done. Now he's on his way to the NFL and the Chargers, a unique situation. It's going to be a unique coaching stance next year, provided nothing changes, which, there's been talks about Andy Reid retiring or rumors, but I don't see it happening. So, just based on it, Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, Antonio Pierce. That's a heck of a foursome of coaches, I'd say, in the AFC West. Now, yes, Antonio Pierce, this is a chance now to be a full-time gig, and compared to those three, it's an uphill task, but we'll see. And yes, the big question now is Jim Harbaugh going to face his brother in the NFL next season? The question is yes, because apparently the Ravens play the whole AFC West, or the AFC West plays the AFC North next year. So, by virtue, Chargers will play the Ravens. So, that'll be a treat. But, nonetheless, it's a great move. Great thing for the NFL. Him being back. So, the big question will obviously be, you know, can he fix Herbert or can he help him reach Herbert's potential or have him help Herbert reach his full potential and get this team over the hump the way we've been assuming it could be, you know, potentially past the Chiefs, winning the AFC West, winning a playoff game, etc. But great do's and great deeds, Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers. So a bit of weird news. So I mentioned the other day on the previous episode Adrian Griffin being fired by the Bucs less than a season in. Then come blows shortly after, I finish and the podcast was uploading that Doc Rivers, who, presumably took a break, for a bit this season, was doing some commentary for ESPN. Definitely glad that they broke up him and Doris Burke. No offense, but two commenting names that didn't flow well, that aren't really great to hear, in my opinion. Putting them together was just not a great match. So, doing that, and then what it sounds was being a consultant. Excuse me. For the Bucs this season, thus far. Now, he's signed with Gig to be the Bucs head coach. Now, here's what I'll say about Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers, one of the best coaches, one of the most likable coaches. Good with bad, obviously. I have a soft spot for him with him being the coach for the Celtics and their NBA Finals win in 2008. But since then, he's grown himself a reputation of teams that are really good, but are chokers in the playoffs. Kind of is, or blown leads in the playoffs. So, this is a low team. Now, you still got Giannis, you still got Damian Lillard, you got Brook Lopez, you got Bobby Portis. Now, Chris Middleton, but losing Drew Holiday, in a way, we could tell for a large part of this season, they have sacrificed defense for offense. Now, hopefully, Doc can put pieces together and, make it work, because besides Boston, there's not a legitimate competition. Sixers and the Heat, come playoff time, we'll see. And then the Knicks, they've been growing strong lately. They've been going very well. So keep an eye on them. But there's a good amount of parity in these. So, we'll see. But hopefully Doc continues and grows this season, and hopefully comes out good. Vic Fangio. So, continue with it. So Vic Fangio, it's funny. So kind of similar to the Bucs thing, how quick it developed. So, excuse me. So when I got to school today, I saw on my phone or saw reports that mutual parting of ways with Vic Fangio and the Dolphins. Mike McDaniel, Pa, Saman, etc. Vic Fangio, one of the better coaches, he was their defense coordinator this year. Now, yes, there was a tremendous amount of injuries towards the end of the season, which killed him. We definitely saw it against the Bills and the Chiefs. Excuse me. So, that's step one. Step two, when I get back to my car, look back at my phone and see Vic Fangio hired as new Eagles defense corner. Crazy how things develop, but we know the Eagles have been making changes to their staff. It's weird. For the second straight season, they're going to have new offense coordinator and new defense coordinator. So Nick Sirianni's still going to be there. We'll see. We'll see. Let's talk about baseball, shall we? We haven't talked about baseball in a good while, but contenders and the Baseball Hall of Fame class has basically been set. So, let's see. So, Adrian Beltre, talk about a double whammy for the Texas Rangers. Not only did they win the World Series, Texas Rangers, but Adrian Beltre elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame and made his debut at 19 for the Dodgers in 98. He had 48 home runs in 2004. Played with the Mariners from 05 to 09. Had a stellar career. Sorry I don't follow baseball that much, but I'm reading the reports. But yeah, nonetheless, kudos to the Rangers. It's double whammy. Joe Mauer, the former Minnesota Twin. Great job for him. Is now a Hall of Famer, former catcher. The former 2009 MVP for the American League MVP in 2009. Drafted number 1 overall in 2001. He had 6 All-Star selections and 3 Golden Gloves or Gold Gloves, 143 home runs, 23 hits, and .827 OPS. Great job for him. Todd Helton. He was elected in the class. Former Colorado Rockies first baseman Todd Helton. As a guy that lives in New Mexico, it's definitely some odd local, semi-local. Good feeling for Colorado and the Rockies, but good job for Todd Helton. 17 seasons. 19 hits, .953 OPS. Entire career with the Rockies, kudos there 5 All-Star selections, and 3 Gold Gloves. So, goes there. Todd Allen and the rest of the Baseball Hall of Fame class. Also, I almost forgot to mention one head coaching thing. So, Brian Callahan, he's now signed as hired as the new head coach of the Tennessee Titans. So that leaves a vacancy for the Bengals. So they promoted Dan Pitcher, their quarterbacks coach, to now their offense coordinator. See how that works. You know, I don't expect much of a change, but we'll see. Because, you know, with Burrow coming back healthy, you got Chase, you got T. Higgins, that's going to be a tough decision. And, yeah, we'll see. Now. Let's get into picks time, shall we? For the conference championship games this weekend. Chiefs, Ravens, Lions, 49ers. Who's going to the Super Bowl out of the Final Four? We shall see. So, first of all, Chiefs-Ravens. This is going to be some odd matchup. You know, it should be fun. You know, potentially for high scoring. I think we totally expect with two of the best. Well, Ravens have been very good offense with a very good defense this year. With the Chiefs, it's been tricky. You know, going down the slate of the regular season, they have not looked great. I mean, they've been good, but they have not looked great, as we kind of expect. So, I mean, you know, 26-7 against the Dolphins, you know, they did a solid job. And the cold, you know, against Dolphins, they really did their job. And then against the Bills, you know, defense, you know, as you kind of figured, played not as good against Josh Allen, but nonetheless, and their offense had some more big plays versus the Bills, and definitely showed up. So, Ravens here at home, 3.5 point favorites. Unique approach. So, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. That's one. Ravens offense, you know, talked about it a bunch. You know, they've looked much more balanced this year under Todd Monken. You know, we've seen with the flow of the receivers, and, you know, it's just Lamar Jackson's throwing more and making a more balanced approach with running the ball and throwing it. So, it's been a good improvement to see out of Lamar Jackson. And the defense, you know, the job they've done. It's been something with Clowney, with Matt Buke, with Patrick Queen, with Roquan Smith. He's been a great trade so far for the Ravens. Kyle Van Noy, you know, Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams. Now, it seems like Marlon Humphrey has a chance of playing. It seems like. So, we'll see who they match up with. Rashad Rasheed Rice, it's definitely going to be a task. But, yeah, it's going to be unique. And also, Mark Andrews. Him being back, that'll definitely be a stellar presence for them on offense, so we'll see. Now, we have seen the run game. It's been taking a bit of a hit, Again, without your two most explosive running backs, to start the year, where Kim Mitchell, J.K. Dobbins, it's unique. But Dalvin Cook showed he has some bursts last week in some of the runs he was given. Now, credit, some of the time was in garbage time. But if he can get going, first, the Chiefs, that would certainly be a help. Now, on the Chiefs side, like I said, offensively, it's not look great. It's looked good, but it's not look great. Season, now, Rasheed Rice, especially the last couple of games, he's done a heck of a job. Travis Kelce seemed like the week off helped him, made some plays. First, Dolphins and against Bills last week. The weird thing is sometimes it feels he's bit inconsistent. It's like, again, not everyone's perfect, but I mean, seeing him drop the ball is definitely weirder because with all the wide receiver, inconsistencies on their offense, it makes a drop from him feel much more crucial. But we're in the playoffs. Big players, big plays, step up, and he made some big plays the last couple games, particularly. So this can be a unique game. And I just want to say, because, look, I've been seeing it online, and I just want to get this out of the way. Some people don't get why Taylor Swift gets the backlash she kind of does. And all I'll say is this. It's because she's associated with Chiefs. Because Travis Kelce, with Chiefs, if she was dating a person from another team, she would probably be more celebrated. I mean, I bet if she was dating someone from the Lions, she would probably be celebrated. But because she's part of the Chiefs, it adds to the corniness some people find wrong with Chiefs and, the hyperbole and some of the stuff. It's just... yeah. Anywho, back to this game. Ravens 3.5-point favorites. It's going to be unique on Sunday afternoon. However, I feel like at home in Baltimore, it's going to be a fun game. I certainly feel. 3.5 points. It's fun approach. But, yeah. I'm going to go with the Ravens. I didn't feel... With the Dolphins, my emotions definitely took ahead. Against Bills, I felt more confident, but not as because it's Chiefs in the playoffs. Now, against the Ravens, with their defense and the job they have done, it's been a hell of a ride so far. And I just feel at home, their focus, Lamar striving for his second MVP, Mark Andrews back, it's going to be only a plus. So, I'm going here Ravens 34-30. So, Ravens slightly cover. Slightly. Lions at the 49ers. This is going to be a fun, just whatever you want to call it, fist fight. A slugfest, just like down and dirty, whatever you want to say. 49ers, 7-point favorites at home. Now, I don't think it's going to be trickling rain the way it was against the Packers. See, this game sucks in the way of... Okay. Excuse me. It sucks in a way that, on one hand, the Lions story has been so fun to see. You kind of want to see it continue. Again, the 30 years without a playoff game, home playoff game, playoff win, all of a sudden they have 2 at home. Now we go back on the road to a very physical 49ers bunch in Levi Stadium. It's going to be a fun one. And on the other hand, 49ers are probably the best team on paper. The thing is, without the talk about Brock Purdy, you kind of want him to shut some of these people up. Some of the skeptics up. Now, look, he had a very good regular season. Very good. Arguably should be the MVP. MVP caliber year. Did he have slip-ups? Yes, that 3-game losing streak, and yes, against the Ravens on Christmas. Now, I did say the previous episode that I didn't think he played very well. And I think we can agree against the Packers. But he did have a very good drive at the end. When they needed it, he made some throws, got him in position for McCaffrey to score the game-winning touchdown. Now, so Purdy against the Lions defense. So, the good news is the Lions secondary is not as good as the Packers. That's first and foremost. Jair Alexander, Darnell Savage, Eric Stokes, etc. The bad news is this front seven of the Lions is fierce, it's hungry, it's young. Similar to the Packers, but Aiden Hutchinson has been roughshod in this stretch. He had like 8 sacks, they said, in the last 6 or 4 games. He's been feasting as of late. Now, credit, there were a number of times against Bucks he went unblocked, so that's going to be first and foremost for the 49ers is to block him. So, It's going to be a key because you don't see Aiden Hudson line across Trent Williams. You know he's going to be traveling or be on the other side, so it's going to be a test of the rest of the line, Aaron Banks and company, to take care of business. But it's going to be a test, so we'll see. Now, big question will be the status of Deebo Samuel. So he didn't practice today. So uncertain to play. My guess and my assumption is with the magnitude of the game and just everything, he's going to give it a go. My guess. Maybe as a decoy or something. But I think we can tell with Deebo out there, again, there are plays designed for your best playmakers, and Deebo is one of their, if not the best playmaker they have on offense. And there are plays designed for him, gadget plays in the backfield, quick completions. It's another layer of the offense. And then when he's out there, it puts Purdy or whoever the quarterback is for them to be more of a pocket passer, have to go down the field more to Ayuk and kill, which sounds not bad. It's just, it's a layer taken away from the offense. So, definitely Purdy has to play better than he did against Green Bay if they're going to come on top. So, we'll see. As for the other side, you can't say enough about what Jared Goff has done down the stretch. I saw something in the last 5 or so games. 12 touchdowns to 2 picks. Very good. Yeah, I just want to get it right. Yeah, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, the last 6 games, 12 touchdowns to 2 picks. It's been some good job for Jared Goff running this offense. Again, he was the catalyst in this trade for Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff switching to, but he has steered the ship in the right direction. Made the Pro Bowl last year, did a hell of a job again this year. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, who's I think is turning his craft into being a route runner more. We've seen more of those different catches. It's been good to see this year. Sam Laporta now getting Zach Ertz. Obviously, going to be the question is how ready he's going to be. Luckily, he's probably going to be number 2 behind Laporta. But that's another playmaker you have to look out for. Josh Reynolds, We had a great day versus the Rams. We'll see about his health. But, yeah, well, I mean, have some good playmakers. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, they've been a very good duo in the backfield, especially giving Jahmyr Gibbs more carries. So, that's an joy. Behind this O-line, clearly this can be where it's one loss. The battle in the trenches. The number one, the biggest strength of the Lions has been their offensive line. Taylor Decker doesn't get enough love. Now, they won't have Jonah Jackson, their left guard. So, I forgot his name, sorry, but nonetheless, it's going to be another day for him. Although, second after he went out against Tampa, they still did a hell of a job. And that's credit to Frank Ragnow, who's coming in banged up. Penei Sewell. It's going to be fun against Nick Bosa and Chase Young and Hargrave, Armstead, Kinlaw. It's going to be a fun battle of the trenches. So, I mean, if the Lions O-line can win against those guys, and for a large part, the Packers won over the 49ers on defense. So the 49ers are going to have to do better on defense as well if they're going to get the job done against Detroit. Now, the back end, you always got to worry about because, those center linebackers as well for the Niners, Fred Warner, Rick, and then, Charvarius Ward, who's had a very good year, Tashawn Gibson, it's been a fun secondary, Ambry Thomas. So, I mean, I love the Lions offensive line. And, yes, we see the names on the 49ers defense, but they have not looked fairly impressive the last number of games. It just it's been weird. It's been more like they've been relying on the offense more. So, I mean, it's obviously going to be key of how Purdy does versus Lions offense. And then if they can expose and do more plays in the secondary, then they get the win. I'm torn. I'm honestly torn with this game, Detroit and San Fran. Because like I said, I want to see Purdy shut up the doubters, but at the same time, I love the story of the Lions. But as far as picks go, all good things must come to an end. So, Yep. 28-24. Detroit Lions got it. Now, this is probably me baiting Brock Purdy because I want the Niners to prove me wrong. I want Brock Purdy to prove me wrong. I want him to prove these people wrong. But the way the Lions have just been fueling. At the end of the day, their offensive line is the key. And I haven't been very impressed with the 49ers defense. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But take it what you may. 34-30 Ravens and 28-24 Lions. Nonetheless, thank you guys all. It's been fun. It's been a pleasure. This went longer than I expected it to be for this video. But hey, it's a podcast for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Covered a bunch. Talked about a bunch today on the podcast. So hope you guys got enough for your taste. Anyways, guys, see you guys next time. Like, subscribe. Click that notification bell. Find out whenever I post my videos. Take care, guys. See you guys soon. Peace. You guys are awesome.